Hi, I'm Chandler Crum. Some of you may know me, some of you might not. My question's mostly to Dinesh D'Souza, but before I give it, I'd like to thank him for coming to speak at this event, spitting some great facts, and also for following me on Twitter. Thank you. All right. So, as of late, I've been doing some research on the Republican Party, and I keep seeing this one word, lily white, but it's really hard to find information on this that seems factual and seems real. And so I'm wondering if you could enlighten me and the crowd a bit more about this lily white movement within the Republican Party that was back in the day?
Well,
guys, sorry, I just want to say before, just for time, because I don't want you guys all to stand there and be disappointed. We're going to take two more on that side, so these two ladies, and then we're going to take two more on this side, up till the MAGA hat. I'm sorry, guys, we're just going to be pressed for time after that. I didn't want to make you guys stand and then be disappointed, because I hate when that happens.
a lot of my work in the last few years has been almost a job that begins with re-educating myself. Because I realize that many of the things that I've believed since the 1980s, that I knew to be true, are not true. I thought fascism was always on the right. In fact, if you had asked me 10 years ago, I'd say, well, yeah, communism is on the left, and fascism is on the right. And in fact, I thought that in part because in World War II, you see the communists, the Soviets on one side, you see the Nazis on the other. So we have bought into a lot of things. It suddenly dawned on me as I began to dig into this and as I found one spin after another, I realized that virtually everything that we call history is in fact progressive history. It is written by a generation of people who came to power really starting after World War II. And they have written the history books and they have spun the narrative. Now, I'm not saying they're outright liars, but I'm saying that they do downplay or leave out facts inconvenient to their side. So when I made the statement earlier about slavery, this fact, I tell you, is a fact and yet appears in no textbook. It's never been on the History Channel. It's not in Wikipedia. You won't find it anywhere. So how can something be true and relevant and yet none of us have heard about it, even though we all read exhaustively on the topic? And the answer is that we have been sold a line. And part of it is we have allowed academia and the media and Hollywood to run away from us. They control the megaphones. So all these terms have to be viewed with suspicion. You've got to go back and say, what are they trying to do here? What is the actual truth behind this? All I'll tell you is that the Republican Party was literally called by Stephen Douglas, Abraham Lincoln's antagonist, the Black Republican Party. And he meant that as an insult. And he used that term because particularly in the South, virtually 99% of all African Americans were Republicans.